How's it going, guys? We are live on YouTube. I'm about to go live on TikTok. If you guys are appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button on your way in. Let me just share this stream to my Telegram group, which I'm trying to grow, but it's a work in progress. So let me just send it in there really quick, and then we'll get started here a little bit late, but we go live every single Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central Time. So, subscribe so you don't miss on the next one. We're going to go over Bitcoin first, and as more people join in, we'll start to do altcoins. So that is kind of the plan for today. We're going to look at Bookmap, which I thought I opened, but I guess I did not. So we're going to get that going. Let me go live on YouTube or on TikTok in a second so that we get a few more viewers. It's going to load. So I went live yesterday because I didn't go live Tuesday to make up for it. So I don't think much has changed since yesterday, but I am still bearish on Bitcoin's price. We're going to wait for it to finally load. I said the price you have to beat. It's still trying to figure out what it wants to do. So I said the price to beat for Bitcoin is $17,500. If you don't beat that price, you are still bearish on Bitcoin. It's pretty much that simple. So let me get this going, and then we're going to look at where Bookmap says we're going. I believe yesterday it was around the $16,000 level that I said Bitcoin was probably headed based on Bookmap, but we will look at it again. I'm trying not to get that glare, but all right. So right now, you have a lot of liquidity at this $15,500 level. If you zoom out, you have a lot. The most is right there at 15.5. And you don't have much liquidity up here, which tells me, again, it confirms to me the price is going to probably keep going lower. You have a lot of liquidity at 12,500 as well. So to me, it's probably inevitable that you at least hit that measure move of Bitcoin's bear flag at $14,000. Now you're starting to get some liquidity at $10,000. Every day we go by, the liquidity keeps moving lower overall. I would say it just is screaming. Eventually, the macro target we could hit is I guess there's not. There's liquidity at $10,000, but the bulk of it is around that $12,000 to $13,000 area. To me, that's probably where Bitcoin's gonna go. And if we just zoom in, I zoomed way out. When I zoom way out, you even have orders all the way down there at like 2,500, which I don't really think that's going to happen. But to me, that's kind of what's going on. If you zoom in for today's price action, it looks like they want to pull you down to the 16.4 level, which is nothing crazy. But every day you go down $100, that just means you're probably gonna, tank down to the $10,000 area. So I think short term, the bear flag is going to play out, probably in the next month or so, and that would take you down to 14,100. Let's look at Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin on the daily chart is overbought. I talked about this yesterday. Yesterday it was pinned. Now it's coming down, and you definitely did not make a higher high. If anything, you just got it's kind of like a double top, but you got to the top of the pennant or top of the flag right here. And now you're going to the downside. The 4-hour chart, let's see how that's looking. Right now, the 4-hour chart, it really is not doing a lot. It's definitely probably looking like it's going to make a higher low. So the 4-hour chart might be bullish for Bitcoin, but the macro term is bearish. And the 1-hour chart, this is interesting. 1-hour chart is bullish. So we'll see what happens. I think, like I said, the bear flag is invalidated if Bitcoin gets above the resistance at $17,500. You also have some resistance at $17,100. So really the next target is 17.1 and then 17.5. If you break 17.5, I'm going to say the bear flag is invalidated, and that would be very bullish for the bulls. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Macro term, still looking for 14K. Bookmap is saying 16.4 is next, which is only $100 lower. But the next stop is 17.1. if you can't get above that, look for more downside. If you get above 17.1, then your next stop is 17.5. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. I'm still bearish on it. I hope it just moons tomorrow to $100,000. It's not gonna happen, but that'd be nice. That's what I would like. I don't like these lower prices, but it gives you time to accumulate in the bear market, which is how people make a lot of money in the bear market, is accumulate low and sell high. So if there's any requests, let me know. Yeah, I just made a video on Luna Classic. If you appreciate when you guys come in here, if you hit that like button, and if you aren't following me, hit the follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. So I talked about Luna Classic about a few minutes ago before I made this video. I posted it on my YouTube. But I basically said Luna Classic is bearish right now. It doesn't look bullish. Daily chart, 3-day chart's completely low, so that's good. But what's not good is the daily chart is rolling over. It's just in a massive downtrend, and you have down-sloping resistance that you just cannot break. So to me, the price to beat is 18. If you don't beat that price, you can look for the next macro support on the daily chart. It is all the way down there at this 10 level. That is the next macro support for Luna Classic. So I'm not bullish on that. I talked about Jasmine. Jasmine's kind of looking just as bad as Luna Classic, so nothing really to talk about there. Let me go to the 4-hour chart. I did draw something, though. Luna Classic kind of was in a bear flag as well. Kind of looking exactly like Bitcoin in a bear flag. And yeah, that's kind of what I drew. The measure move of the bear flag is 1/10 of a penny. I think that would happen if Bitcoin goes to $10,000, but that will take some time to play out. So it's a massive bear flag on the 4-hour chart. So that's kind of it. I'm still holding Trump coin. Still holding that one. I'm starting to accumulate Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano for the macro long term for the bull market. But that's kind of what's going on. Not much has changed since yesterday. So if there's any requests, I'll take them. Otherwise, I just wanted to talk about that and get on here really quick. So appreciate the follow, guys. If there's any requests, let me know. If there's no requests here in the next few moments, then I'll probably just make a very quick live stream, and that'll be that. So I guess just to recap then, if there's no other requests, is Bitcoin has to give up 17,500. If that does not happen, then I am very bearish, right? And if you don't give up 17.5, the bear flag would be $14,100 on the daily time frame. It's really that simple. I've said that probably now for a few days, maybe a week or two now. So there's nothing to talk about. I guess I can look at Ethereum. Is Ethereum looking any better than Bitcoin? Still well below the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame. Moving averages are getting very tight, so I do like that. Daily chart is way overbought, though, without making a higher high. So to me, that is still bearish on Ethereum, on Ethereum's daily time frame. The 4-hour chart, let's look at that. The 4-hour chart is in a downtrend. You did make a higher high here. So kind of like Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart, Bitcoin looks bullish on the 4-hour chart, as does Ethereum. But again, the daily chart still does not look bullish to me. But obviously, for a macro reversal, you need the smaller time frames to become bullish before the larger time frames. That's how it works. So we could be setting up for a nice move here to the upside. But again, the daily chart still looks bearish to me. So, that's just what I'm looking at right now. But like I said, it's getting better. I don't like where the RSI is at, but the moving averages are getting tighter. So it does look like it's probably getting closer to another move to the upside here for Ethereum and Bitcoin. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that we can't still go down to those lower targets. It's just looking like we could get a nice move up before we get the ultimate move to 14K or, lower prices on Ethereum as well. So, so that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. It's looking like Ethereum is also probably in a bear flag, though, because you got that massive move down, and now you're consolidating, and you can't really get any higher. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Is it probably another bear flag for Ethereum, just like Bitcoin was in. We can kind of drop. There's your pull right there that you had. Let me clear the chart, remove drawings. So here's kind of the pull, right? There's your bear pull. There's a pull of the flag, and then here's your flag right here. To me, Ethereum looks a little bit better than Bitcoin, but not by much, right? It still looks bearish to me, and or yeah, that is a bear flag in my opinion, right? It's not as tight in the flag as Bitcoin is. If we go back to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is a lot tighter in the flag, or basically, yeah, I would say it's tighter. Unless you want to extend the flag all the way over here, which I guess you could do. But to me, that is still bear flag. Measure move for Ethereum to the downside would be about $500, which is that'd be a new low for this bear market. So to me, the whole market is bearish on the macro time frames. Bitcoin and Ethereum are looking good on the 4-hour chart as far as the moving averages are concerned, but the RSI doesn't look good, nor does I mean, you're just in a bear flag. So to me, it probably won't happen immediately, but you're at the top of the pennant, you're at the top of the bear flag, so you probably will get a dump here for Ethereum, unfortunately. So that's what I'm looking at. Is ICP moving up? Let's go look at ICP. ICP right now, what is it? It's not moving up. It's at $3.90, and it's flat for the day, down 0.5%. What are you talking about? And if you look at the daily chart, you're in a massive downtrend. So daily chart's pinned, overbought. You got a few green candles, whoop-de-doo, and it's going to tank again. So, dude, if there's something bullish about a coin, and I look at the chart and it's bullish, even if I don't like it, I'll say that. But it's just, it doesn't. Look at this chart. Okay, let me go to the weekly time frame. Ever since this thing came out, it has gone down. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It started at $878. I thought it was $750, but it started, I guess it went all the way almost to $900. Now we're sitting at $3.90. The all-time high is $887.56 on the Coinbase chart. I don't know who Charles is, but I want to look at the calculator app. And let's look at this, all right? Let's just look at this right now. All-time high is $887.50. Right now we're sitting at $3.9. 3.9 divided by 887. You're down 99.6% from the all-time high. Why would you want to hold this piece of garbage? You know, just look at the chart. Every time you get a bounce, which you're getting the bounce right now, I guess, on the daily time frame, you make a lower high, and I'm predicting, based on this chart, you're going to make a new low at some point below $3.48. And you're not even up that much from the low. You're up 16, 17%. That, you should, if you're going to do anything short, you know what? When it makes a macro reversal, it makes a new high, especially if it makes a new high above $6, I'll be bullish on it again. Until then, no, it's not bullish. I'll put an alert here at $6. If it breaks $6, then we can have something to talk about. Until it breaks $6, you're not bullish on it. It's that simple. So, you bought ICP at $3.56. It never went. Oh yeah, it went. Yeah, it went down to 347. So, I mean, congrats, man. But the daily chart doesn't look good, and the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. It's too hard to say right now. As long as you stay above 350, I guess that's a good sign. But the daily chart is telling me you're gonna roll over again because you're overbought, and you're completely overbought. And you are nowhere near the previous high of $5.82. So if you break $6, I'll be bullish on it again. But until then, I can't say that this is bullish. So I'm not bullish on much right now because the whole market is in a downtrend. So I'm bullish on shorts on positions that are bearish. You can bet against the market. And I'm not going to, I'm bullish on, some coins on Uniswap, but those are very high risk. So I'm not bullish on much right now. But, I'm definitely not bullish on ICP. I'll tell you that right now. So if there's any other requests, let me know. Otherwise, that might do it. So there's no one watching on YouTube. We are on YouTube as well. So if you want to go rewatch it there, watch the beginning of the stream. If you missed it, you could go watch that there. But we'll see what ICP does. But to me, again, $6 is basically a macro price to beat to be bullish on it, and that is that. So, what is Bitcoin doing on the smaller time frames? What is Bitcoin doing? I mean, Bitcoin right now on the smaller time frames just made a higher low. So we'll see what happens. But it also made a lower high before that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So this is interesting. On the daily time frame for Bitcoin, it's in a bear flag. Where I've said that this, most of this stream. But when you look at the 1 hour chart, it's doing the complete opposite, and you're basically in a bull flag on the 1 hour chart. So on the 1 hour chart, you're in a bull flag. On the daily chart, you're on a bear flag. That's kind of interesting. I still like to play the macro moves, but maybe we're starting to dig out of this hole. We'll see what happens. Measure move for the bull flag, if the 1 hour chart does want to have some fun, would be all the way up to $17,800. If you were to do that, if you were to make that move to $17,800, that would negate the daily bear flag, because I said if you break 17.5. Then the bear flag on the daily chart is negated, and then you're probably bullish again. So maybe the 1 hour chart can save the daily chart if it, that's interesting. So that's why you look at multiple time frames. Daily chart's bearish, 1 hour chart is not. So if a 1 hour chart can take you to 17.8, that would negate the bearishness on the daily chart, which would mean, to me, then maybe you could say the low's in, I don't know. Or maybe the low's in just for another few months, just like it was in the summertime before you make a new low. But that's kind of what it's looking like, daily chart. So I'm not going to say whether we're going down or not. If this happens, then that can happen. If we break to 17.8, then the bear flag on the daily chart is negated, and then I would be bullish on the market again. So that's what has to happen for me to be bullish again. That's what would happen is Bitcoin has to at least get close to, at least break 17.5. So that's kind of all I got as far as Bitcoin is related. So those are the time frames I'm looking at right now. Is a 1 hour chart interests me on Bitcoin, as does the daily chart. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. XRP will take out Bitcoin. Yeah, okay, sure. Keep on dreaming. Keep on dreaming. What's a bull flag? This is a bull flag. What I just said, right? So you got your flag right here. I'm just gonna leave that there. I'll redraw the flag. So maybe you guys can't see it on TikTok. That was my fault. So that's what a bull flag is, right? You got your pole. That's the pole, that orange line from the bottom of the price action to the top. If you want to use the wicks, you can. And then your flag would be right there as you just consolidate. And a bear flag is the same thing that you have on the daily chart, except it's the opposite. Oh, you fucking kidding me. And sorry about that. Are you fucking... Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on. TikTok says I need to get off TikTok today. So, okay, a bear flag is the complete opposite of a bull flag, right? You got, I don't know, hold on. So that would be your pole right there. And then your flag is right there. As you zoom in, it's easier to see. It's just you consolidating in price action. I'm going to clear the chart momentarily, and I'm going to redraw the bear flag. So, because maybe I need to do that. So you got your bear flag right up here. There's that. And then the flag, you can zoom into smaller time frames to see it better. But the flag would just basically be the consolidation on those smaller time frames. I guess if you redraw it, you could definitely say that this price action that we just got is still very much intact. That's still a bear flag. But that is still a bear flag on the daily chart, even when I redraw it. So it actually might be more of a bear flag than I thought. And that would be a crazy move down to $10,300 when you redraw and use the last price action that we got. So previous one was 14.1, and then I redrew it using the wicks, and that would take you down to $10,300. Now, it might not happen, but that I think around the $10,000 area would be an 85% move from the all-time high, so it's still very much on the table. $2018 Bitcoin maxis were shaking. Yeah. So, I mean, you want me to talk about the volume profile? I don't really use it to trade, so I don't know how much I can say about it, but it just tells you where all the volume and all the orders are on Bitcoin. But because I have Bookmap, which maybe I closed it, but Bookmap does the same thing, and it's more precise. It tells you where the orders are sitting at on Bitcoin at the prices that they're sitting at. So if there's more sells than buys, you know where the liquidity is at, and usually the price action goes to where the liquidity is at. So I talked about beginning of this live stream. If you want to go rewatch it, it's on YouTube. But right now, if we just want to do smaller price action, it's saying that on the smaller time frames, there's more liquidity at $16,400 than there is at up here. There's just more buys down lower than there are sells, but that means the price action will go down to where those buys are. So that's what the volume profile does. But it sort of does the same thing as Bookmap. It's just not as accurate. So, yeah. So if you guys have any other requests, let me know. Otherwise, that's kind of all I got. I'm going to end the YouTube live stream because no one's watching on there. So I don't know what's going on with that. But we are on YouTube as well. And